Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast with Ellie, Chris, and Guy. This is a casual gaming podcast for the everyday gamer, and on today's show, I want to chat about a really cool new website I've found, and it's New Zealand-based, and I think it's really important we chat about it as a show, as a Kiwi gaming podcast that supports other Kiwis doing gaming stuff. And Chris, you want to chat about which video game character would marry?
That is what I'd like to chat about. If you had to, genuinely hook up with a video game character, settle down and start a new life, taking into account what they do for a living.
Yeah.
How would that work? Who would it be? Where would you be living?
I like this subject, but I also like to think about whenever any of us sends through a segment for the show, I always think what made that particular person think of that particular subject. Like what made Chris think?
Yeah.
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yesterday I had to host a TV show and they asked me to wear a tuxedo. The only tuxedo I have is my wedding tuxedo.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hosted the show and found my wedding vows in the chest pocket. That was the last time I had worn it. And my
yeah, of
wedding
course.
vows were in there. And I was like,
Cute.
And then I was home and I told my wife about it and then we were laughing. And then I woke up this morning and I was like, that was funny. And then I was like, okay, there's a good topic. Getting married to a video game character.
Beautiful.
That's nice.
Beautiful.
I had the same thing when I put on my suit after my wedding, but it wasn't in the pocket. It was a condom wrapper.
Was it empty?
Why did you? Sorry.
Oh yeah, it was empty.
So hang on. So you got married.
Yeah.
Right, which is cool. Good for you. It gets to the time of the night where you want to seal the deal.
Yeah.
You open a condom, you take it out, you put it on, and then get the wrapper and tuck it into your chest pocket.
Yeah.
I don't remember how it happened. What actually I think happened is we'd hired an Airbnb, and because with weddings you're so manicked leading up to the event. Plus with ours, it was right before lockdown, so we were wondering if it was even going to happen.
Oh.
And it was my job to pack the overnight bag for that one night after the wedding.
Nice.
And I packed literally nothing.
That does not surprise me.
I threw just complete bullshit into a bag to the point where I think I packed myself 2 pairs of shorts and a hoodie, but like no underwear, no t-shirt. Like it was just nothingness. So I think at the time I just grabbed all of the rubbish from the Airbnb and just shoved it in whatever pocket or anything.
Oh.
Okay, because I was picturing you just still wearing the upper half of your suit jacket
Yeah.
with a condom on and you tucking it into your chest pocket.
Yeah.
Which is very humorous.
It's highly likely that could have happened as well. I don't know. It was an open bar. So.
Can I also just say that another reason why I wanted to use this topic is it gives us another chance to make Ellie feel awkward about her and Sam.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Because I actually want to marry a video
You'd
game
like to
character
marry
at this point.
Yeah. It's more likely.
Classic.
And
Yeah.
Guy and I are already married.
Give her an outlet to,
That's
to
right,
think
Yeah.
about.
Oh, thanks, guys. That is so considerate, Chris.
Yeah,
I
so-
really
Cool.
appreciate it.
I like that.
Awesome. Well, should we get into some listener feedback?
Yeah.
Of course, listener feedback, you can join in on our Instagram, Extremely Casual Gamers Podcast, or go to our Facebook group, Extremely Casual Group for Extremely Casual Gamers. Big shout out to all the people that have joined that page. It's nice, ticking along nicely.
It is. It really
Wonderful little community of people just throwing in things to talk about, offering to play with games with each other. It's really, really cool. So shout out to everyone. Alice Wright, she says, what's everyone's current game of their year? Doesn't have to be from 2024, just a game you've played this year, but takes the honorary top spot in your brain. Mine would be Dave the Diver. Lots of people joining in. Ethan saying Pokemon Legends. Alison saying Tears of the Kingdom. We've got Kale with Resident Evil 4 Gold. Chris, you joined in saying Lies of P is definitely the most fun I've had with a game this year.
Yeah, it is.
Jack says he's playing Ghost of Tsushima after everyone's been talking about it on the podcast. He says it is one of my favorite games of all time. Stardew Valley, another Ghost of Tsushima, Hitman. Dave the Diver's getting a couple of mentions.
That's
as well.
it's an indie game, isn't it?
Yeah, and I believe it was last month's PlayStation Plus, one of the games that you could download if you've got that subscription as well. Cyberpunk came in from Tyler, Sam Harrison saying Elden Ring, and Melissa, she said, I just clocked Rise of Ronin. Loved it. Great story and battle system.
Great, because
Nice.
I've still got Rise of the Ronin because we got given it to give away / keep.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about it. I might jam that at some stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rebecca Adams, she also said, I thought this might be a great place to find some fellow casual World of Warcraft players, if there are any on here. I used to play, and the thing is, I read this, and she uses so much World of Warcraft jargon that I have absolutely no idea.
You've been alienated.
Yeah, so if you don't play World of Warcraft, you're not going to understand any of this. But if you do, basically, Rebecca just wants to know if there's anybody out there that'd be willing to play. So keep your ears out. I used to be pretty active during vanilla through to mop and recently started playing again. I am loving the new expansion but feeling lonely. I love running chill delves, mythics, and leveling up as copious amounts of mound plus transmog farming, lol. I main an arcane mage but also playing 2 tanks, Monk and Pally, which I'm really enjoying. I play Horde mostly but have heaps of Alliance alts and would love to level an Alliance to 80 at some point. I'm sick of how antisocial, toxic, and elitist groups are in game now. Really enjoy group content, so would absolutely love to find somebody to play with. Hit me up if you're keen. So if that is somebody listening right now, join our Facebook group, reach out to Rebecca Adams and see if you guys can wow together.
Shout out to Rebecca, because I would never have the guts to post just full-blown Witcher 3 jargon. I always just boil it right down to the real basic terminology. But good for you, girl, for like getting in there, dropping all the stuff. So someone on the group will be listening or reading that and going, you are speaking my language. I am keen. Love that.
And that's the other thing as well. If you are playing a game, doesn't have to be World of Warcraft, but if you are sitting there playing a game and you want to play with other people, you can absolutely jump onto our page and say, just shoot your shot. You are literally not going to get shut down. No one's going to be like, lol, no one wants to play with you. It's just there is some really cool people on that group, so make sure you do that. Now, I know everyone has been tuning into this episode to find out what the cryptic video was that I uploaded 2 days ago.
Oh my God. And I even put a comment in, like, I hope this does not ruin listener feedback, because I did not get the reference at all.
So for context, I put up a video. My wife and I, for lunch the other day, we went to one of those sushi restaurants with the sushi train, right? So the conveyor belt, you take sushi off it. Now, with those restaurants, because you just grab plates, they color code the plates, and the plates have different prices. And then when you're done, they just calculate the plates, calculate the price, and that's how much they charge you, right? So I noticed, because all the food's going around on the conveyor belt, but they also had these 5 colored plates with the prices on them, and they go around all the time just to remind you what the prices were. So the first color was like a grayish brown, then it went green, blue, purple, and gold. And I was like, my gamer brain instantly connected to those colors. And because it was ranked with, grayish being the top and gold being the, or top being gold. And I was like, oh my God, because the prices were so random. But I was like, no, that's how I'm going to remember. So whenever I see a purple plate, I know it's the second highest. And I put it in the group chat because I thought, this is gamer content. And nobody got it.
But hang on, so was it Fortnite?
Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm gutted I didn't get that until you started saying it now. I was like, it's Fortnite.
Yeah,
but also,
but actually a lot of other games have this kind of coding system with the colors, right?
System,
But I just thought that would be the most popular because, just your weapons, grey being the lowest, gold being the top, and you got purple, blue, uncommon, common. I was like, oh my God, no one got it.
Can I seriously, because I saw your post, right? Maybe it was probably half an hour after you'd posted it, and at the bottom of it in grey it said 38 people have viewed this.
Yeah.
No one had interacted with it, and I was like, oh God, guy, he's
pulled a Sam Morgan.
He's one of the admins of the group as well. This is a really bad look for us. So I commented saying what everyone was thinking. I just do not get this.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize the plates were color-coded until right now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I just politely liked it but didn't understand it.
and
And now I'm gutted because it was Fortnite related and I've been going on about how, I'm a Fortnite player now.
And it was, at the time, it was you, and I believe her name's Rachel, the lady who started the Fortnite. Literally, she's the owner of a Fortnite community page. The two of you liked it, but didn't actually comment. I was very disappointed.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It's actually quite clear now that you explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Ellie, don't lump all the responsibility onto everyone else in the group. Now that you've explained it, it's clear. However, at the time, the video was not clear.
I think my caption could have been a little bit more. Could have been better. The way I described it.
Yeah,
if I look back, if I want to take on some responsibility, which I feel like you're forcing me to. Yeah. Maybe I could have worded it a little bit better, but I thought for a gamer group,
we should have got it without any context. Yeah, no, I understand.
So I'll be better next time.
Okay, thank you so much.
No, I just reckon just lose all confidence in your video posting.
All right, but that wraps up listener feedback.
All right, let's jump into some gaming news.
Gaming news.
Look, it's me talking again.
Oh, is it you again?
Yes. Some quick gaming news stories. These are the top stories that have come out over the last 7 days. This one more recently. Red Dead Redemption 1 and Undead Nightmare, which is the expansion that they released after Red Dead Redemption 1, which is like the Alien DLC. Not Alien, sorry, the zombie DLC. It's finally coming to PC 14 years after Red Dead Redemption 1 came out.
Oh, wow.
Remastered or anything, or just as it was?
Slightly remastered, a little bit better. So 1111 is the studio that did the port for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch last year.
Right.
Which was, a successful port. So they're the ones that have done it this year. And it comes out on October 29th. So this is Red Dead Redemption 1. And the DLC has not been able to play unless you got some cracked, downloaded, not legit version. People on PC haven't been able to play it for 14 years, but on October 29th, you will be able to.
Right.
So,
Good.
and it's been formatted so that it works on different types of processing units and screen sizes and stuff like. Basically, it's just been designed for PC. So yeah, I think it's great. I just think 14 years is a little late.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
massively late. But, I mean, it's still one of those games that, to this day, I think you could still play and absolutely clock, and it still would hold up.
Undead Nightmare was really cool because it's still John Marsden from Red Dead Redemption, but it's just like an extra storyline. I really enjoyed playing it on Xbox 360. I mean, everybody really wanted there to be an Undead Nightmare for Red Dead Redemption 2, or if not Undead Nightmare, just a DLC, just something extra on the side.
Yeah.
But alas, that has not been released yet.
Okay, I was just checking. They did not develop the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. Remember that was remastered?
Yeah.
And it was an absolute buggy piece of shit. It was not 1111. It was Grove Street Games.
Oh,
So
wow,
it was
that sounds
CJ
like
and Big Smoke and Ryder in the basement. Am I right, Ellie?
Oh man, this language I am not understanding at all. But
We're still talking about World of Warcraft. Yeah.
Right, okay, thank you.
Still at post. 2014 horror game Alien Isolation is getting a sequel. So it's the 10-year anniversary, just gone. And Al Hope, who was the game director, he tweeted just to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the incredibly popular cult classic game Alien Isolation, and says that there is a sequel in the works, and everybody's been wanting this game. There's been no confirmed title, release date, or plot. They've just told them that it is getting sequels. Alien Isolation, I've not played it, but it's a first-person horror game where you're basically, if you know Alien, the franchise, the 1970 classic.
Yeah.
1979, I think it was. Basically, alien on a ship. You've just got to try and, I think,
It's like Dead Space almost.
Yeah, you got to get the ship back online. You got to do all these things, but there's an alien on the ship, and the shots I've seen, basically this alien, you can't kill it. You've just got to hide from it. Like if you come face to face with it, it's gonna kill you. So one of the huge mechanics of the games is hiding. Like you can hide in lockers, and there's little slits in the lockers, and you can just see this alien. And then you hide under desks, and then if you've made too much noise, it knows where you're, and it pops up under the desk surprise and eats you. So it's a horror
myself.
game. It would be every single time I see it, I'm like, this would be a fantastic game for Ellie to stream.
Oh yeah, but
You should stream
I think
that,
I'd wee
actually.
myself,
I'd watch that.
actually.
Yeah.
Would you? Okay.
And because there's something about a horror game where you have a weapon that you can take it if it gets you. That's scary still. The fact that you can't do anything is even scarier.
It's just you have to just hide from this thing.
Yeah.
But also speaking of you, because you mentioned Dead Space, I believe Dead Space is this month's PlayStation Plus.
Oh, the remastered
Is
version.
one of the games that you can play. So Ellie, you should definitely download it and stream that game because that is
Listen
also
to her just saying okay.
Okay. Yes.
It's a survival horror game on a ship.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's third person.
It's third person though.
Okay.
And you're an engineer.
Okay, it's a bit more friendly than All right.
No, still an incredibly
I'm not,
violent.
You're not going to do
horror
it.
I'm not
game.
going to do it anyway.
No.
You're not gonna do it. And the final one is, you'll be very happy to hear this, Chris. It's all about Halo.
Ah!
Yes.
okay.
Halo is getting a facelift. So over the weekend, there was the Halo Championship. 343 Industries, which is the company that's been making the Halo games basically since they were shit, because Bungie Studios are doing it, and 343 Studios, took over. They've announced that they're changing their name to Halo Studios.
Okay,
Oh.
dedicated, really owning it.
Yeah, so basically,
Wow.
because 343 Industries was primarily Halo games, but then they also dabbled in other shit.
Right.
But
Now it's like,
basically
yo,
they're just we are
we
a
are
Halo
focusing on this.
factory.
Which, to be honest, longtime Halo fans like yourself, you want to see stuff like that because the franchise has just been ruined almost.
It's been floating around in space like Spartan 117 at the end of Halo 3.
Spoiler alert. Huge spoiler alert.
Is it?
I don't know.
Well, the game
At the end of Halo,
the game came out 12 years ago. But yeah, kind of a spoiler. They also showcased, they said that they've got multiple games in the works, which could be a Halo Infinite sequel, which came out in 2021. But most people are saying it's hopefully going to be some remasters of the previous games.
Do you want to hear we have multiple games in the works, or do you want to hear we have one awesome game in the works and you're going to love it?
Yeah, I think I would prefer one game.
Yeah, because it makes me think one's a mobile version, one's a this version.
One of them's, a
remaster.
If you say multiple, you got to sit there and go, they've got to be reskins of recent.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, if that's the case, I'm happy with. Because the other thing is they announced and they showcased is that they're using Unreal Engine 5. So they showcase footage of what the game would look like using Unreal Unreal Engine 5, which is just basically making it look incredibly
Yeah.
realistic and fantastic. And that is what they're going to be using from now on for any future titles, because they've been using another engine called Slipspace, which was something that they developed.
And
It's kind of
okay.
old. So basically, they've got a brand new kitchen that they're cooking in,
Yep.
and it looks real slick. So they're saying, this is our name. We've got titles on the way. This is what they're going to look like, which is hopeful, but also could be a lot of bullshit. Personally, I hope that they use Unreal Engine 5 to re-release Halo Reach and ODST, because those were fantastic games. And basically any of the previous Halo games, I would be happy to get a reskin of, apart from Halo 4 and 5.
I don't think they'd even do that though. They'd just get like a small development team to just like HD upscale all the old graphics and just because it's actually, I actually learnt this. It's so hard to even turn an old game from 30 frames per second into 60 because certain movements, like for example, I learnt this from. Have you heard of the game Bloodborne?
Yes.
It's a From Software game from like 10 years ago, and everyone's like, it's one of the greatest games ever. Why aren't they remaking it for PS5? One of the things in that game is when you do a roll to dodge, you have invincibility frames. So if you roll at the same time as someone attacks, it looks like it's hitting you, but you avoid any damage.
Right, yeah.
Those frames are coded exactly to 30 frames per second. That just upscaling it to 60 and putting it on PS5 would ruin the playability of the game. So there's actually like, you can't just upscale everything. And like there's heaps of stuff like that they would have to completely go through and redo.
Yeah, because I guess technically you're doubling the amount of still shots,
That's right. And so they
you've
haven't animated that.
Yeah, you got half the shots missing.
That's right.
Sort of.
I think when people think of a game getting remastered, they think of like those apps Facetune, when you get a picture and then you just like tap a few times and it makes you teeth whiten, and then like get rid of it. They think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But it's
it's
a
not.
lot more.
How do you know about that app?
Because my wife has it.
Right.
I don't need it. I don't have it on my phone. I'm beautiful.
Why teeth whitening?
Amen.
Because people like their teeth white.
Right. Okay. Gee, I've never even heard of this thing.
Oh yeah. That's the female way.
Right. Okay. How do you feel about him saying?
Generalizing-
How do you feel about
generalizing-
him saying that?
Well, I don't
Generalizing
use it.
massively. Yeah.
I don't need it, do I?
No, you
also,
don't.
Meg doesn't either. can
No,
I
she
just say?
doesn't. No one needs
Meg,
it.
no one needs it. No,
There's
Meg's
one that
beautiful.
makes on Facetune you can make skin less shiny.
Oh, I need that then. Yeah.
He says while looking at
Ellie's giant, luminous forehead.
gaming news.
No, but seriously, you should download it.
Yeah, no, actually. No. So I was stumbling along Reddit. Sounds like I was strolling along Reddit. I was scrolling along Reddit a couple of weeks ago, and I came across this cool website that's been started by a Kiwi guy called Jaden Cusack. And basically, it's a website called gamesnight.nz. If you want to have a look at it.
Like night as in KN?
No, like Games Night.
Like at
just
night.
Night,
Okay.
yeah.
Games Night, yeah.
Good confirming there. But essentially he started this website where he loves gaming and he wants to highlight gaming in New Zealand. It kind of aligns with us quite a lot. So maybe one day we should actually have a chat to him. But he started the site because he's got a passion for video games, and he first had a YouTube channel, but he noticed that there's a bit of a gap when it comes to dedicated NZ gaming coverage, which is very true, hence why we started this podcast. So he's created the site, and on the website, it basically has any like gaming related news or anything interesting to do with like Kiwi developers. He reports on it. He interviews Kiwi developers.
Right.
He basically has like games coming up that are Kiwi based, blah, blah, blah. And I just thought it was really cool because, again, we do this podcast and it's actually hard to find like centralized local content and info about New Zealand,
We
right?
would have to be actively dedicating a lot of time to actually discovering all that stuff ourselves.
Exactly. So shout out to Jaden because now we're just going to use his site for our podcast every week. No, I'm just kidding.
And give him zero credit.
No, but genuinely, one of the quick things I just stumbled across it first and foremost is that PicPoc, which is New Zealand's biggest gaming developer, they're actually releasing their first demo on Steam. So they've made heaps of Steam games, but they've never actually released a demo on Steam.
Yeah.
And there's one coming out on October 28th called Dead, Our Darkest Days. So that's the demo. And then later on next year, it'll be released on Steam. But you can actually play this demo. And it's a side-scrolling shelter survival game set in the 1980s Texas.
I've seen this.
Have you?
I've seen this. I was gonna, when you said gaming, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to talk about that side-scroller zombie game.
Yes.
It looks so cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, so that's a Kiwi-developed
Yeah.
game. And there's going to be a demo out on October 28th, just in time for Halloween, because it's obviously like
Oh my God, I
horror-esque.
desperately want to play that game.
Cool, eh?
Yeah.
So you can get the Steam demo there, which is very exciting. Now, this weekend, it's PAX Australia, which is
Yes.
the big convention where there's heaps of, gaming companies and all sorts of, like, nerd type stuff. Did you know that there's going to be 18 Kiwi developers there with their games?
Wow.
18. I thought that was pretty impressive. Like,
That's really cool.
We've actually got 18.
Because you think of Kiwi, like when I think of New Zealand developers, and this sucks, I think of like a couple of really small ones, like almost individual people.
Yes.
And then the Dredge people.
Yeah, so Black Salt with Dredge
and Pickpock.
And there's I think they're called Gearbox, and they do that PC game Path of Exile, I believe it's called, Path of Exile 2.
Yeah.
I might be butchering it. I think but they're the only two I can think of.
I've never even heard of that. So that is amazing.
There's quite a few. There's 18 that are going to be on display. The full list is at gamesnight.nz. But I was having a look through, and I wanted to see, was there one that I liked, like would want to play. So there's, just before I get into that, there's Storm Cloak Games, Balancing Monkey Games, Mischief Makers Studio, Cove Research, Cold Out, Death Limited. Like, there's 18.
Yeah.
Right.
18 different developers in New Zealand who are making games at the moment, and they're going to be displayed at PAX this weekend. One of the games that stood out to me is this one called Burger Boys. Have you seen this advertised?
No.
I've eaten at Burger Boys before.
Oh.
It's a really nice chain in Sri Lanka.
Oh, right. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's not even a chain. It was just these two guys who were making burgers, and it was amazing. Is it them?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they've made a game. Crazy.
Wow.
They've come to New Zealand.
Yeah, their portfolio is Sri Lankan burger joint, New Zealand game.
That's right.
That's just,
It's pretty amazing because they were doing
Synergy.
it at the back of their mum's house.
And that's where they've developed the game.
Holy cow.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Basically, Mischief Makers.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, big Ellie. Oh, what? Are you serious? Carry on.
So this game is being developed by a sibling duo from New Zealand called Jess and Alex, and they're called Mischief Makers Studio. That's the developer. What is it called? That's their company name. Oh my gosh.
Yes, yeah.
And it's basically the inspiration for Burger Boys is that it's a food truck simulator game.
Love it already.
Yeah, same. And it's a combination of Alex's love for cooking and the desire to create a game focused on flavor experimentation rather than labor. So you get rewarded on creativity, not
That's
so
cool.
much like the
Right.
actual,
Like Overcooked, that game is all about like just quantity, just like get it done, with only a small portion of the game being like just don't burn the food.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all those food management ones, like I was obsessed with one called like Pizza Town or something, or Pizza Chef on mobile, where the customers would come through.
That we played that at.
Did we play that?
It was a free online game that we
that's
played
right.
on our PCs instead of studying at
Oh
university.
yeah, it was very similar to that. Yeah, pretty much the same. Like Bert arrives and he's like, "I'll have a pepperoni pizza." Okay, I got a pepperoni. And then someone arrives, "I'll have pepperoni and mushroom." And then someone else arrives, "I'll have capsicum." And you just got to like coordinate it all.
Oh.
Whereas this is like put some cumin in there.
Yes.
Put a bit of turmeric in there.
Yeah, that's why I liked it. It's
Wow.
it's Burger Boys encourages players to design burgers based on vague requests with no set recipes, allowing for creativity and experimentation.
Oh, like I want something like spicy, but also that's so
That's
cool.
cool.
I would
Like-
crush that game.
Would you?
I used to work
Wow.
at Burger Fuel, so I would
Oh.
experiment with burgers all the time.
Would you?
Yeah, because you'd get a free burger every single shift, and because they'd only have like 12 burgers on the menu, you'd get through that menu 2 or 3 times, start to get a little bit bored, so you just start making your own,
Oh, cool.
mixing it up.
To be fair, Guy experimenting is just putting some bacon and barbecue sauce on it.
No, it's not. No, it's
No,
not.
that is highly offensive to you, actually.
It is putting chips and gravy in a burger.
See, that's good.
Oh, yum.
Chips and gravy.
Yeah,
Oh,
in a burger.
sloppy but
Damn, it was
yummy. Basically, Jess, who's one of the siblings part of this development that's making Burger Boys, she was a graphic designer. Yes, sorry.
Sorry, this is good because I was like,
Yes.
Jess and Alex, that could be 2 boys, it could be
Yeah.
2 girls, it could be a boy and a girl.
Jess is definitely a girl. Alex, I don't know actually. Could be a
Wow,
boy
this
or a
is
girl.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so Jess is doing the programming and the art, and Alex
Awesome.
is doing the design and the writing.
How
They've got
cool.
other people helping, but it's basically a sibling duo, which I thought was so cool. And so they're going to be at PAX this weekend.
That's awesome.
Which is very cool, and I'm really excited for that to come out. It doesn't actually say when it comes out, but they've been working on it, I think, since about 2020. They've been working together. They also did a Kickstarter grant, and I don't know if you guys know this, but in New Zealand we have a government initiative called Code. Do you know about this?
No.
It's essentially, this is what the tagline is: we're helping build a sustainable game development ecosystem in Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Wow.
Nurturing studios and people, improving skills and pathways, and supporting diversity and equity. So Code is actually the organisation that are taking these 18 developers over to PAX.
Wow, so they are helping
Yeah.
subsidize and actually, inject some life into the sector of New Zealand.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, how good is that? So very, very cool that we're actually getting some funding.
Which I think the good thing about New Zealand is we've actually got the ability
talent.
and the talent because like Weta Workshop was leading the world in terms of 3D design and all sorts of stuff. We've got other companies that are doing all sorts of futuristic stuff.
Exactly.
We just need people to like sort of get us started.
We just need the money. Yeah. Exactly right. So yeah, I'm excited to play Burger Boys. Games Night NZ is this cool website started by Jaden. Did I just say his name right? I could have not. Jaden. And just check it out because it's actually got some really interesting interviews he's done with developers. He always puts news up about like new games coming, so we could probably have a look at it for gaming news every now and then. But no,
we'd have to give him credit every single time we use it.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, he'll listen to our podcast and be like, "This bastard's."
No, we would definitely, absolutely give him.
But
a
shout out to
out.
Jaden for starting this,
and we should have an interview with him.
We talk about how we want to do exactly this and bring New Zealand gaming to the world and bring it up. But yeah, he's doing it better.
I love it. Like,
I think it's fantastic.
I agree. So yeah, thanks, Jaden. I would love to chat to him one day about like his journey here and have an interview or something.
Just going back to the Burger Boy developers, Jess and Alex.
Yeah.
So they're a sibling, which is a cool thing to be doing with your sibling. You've got an older sister, Ellie.
Younger, actually.
Younger. You've got a sister.
Do I look younger? Oh my God, stop.
You do. It's because your forehead's way shinier, and I
means you're fresher.
I look fresher.
You're out of the womb. So you've got a sister, Chris. You've got an older brother. I've got an older brother.
Yeah.
So they've created a game that was kind of a shared love of theirs, which was creating food. So just off the top of your head, if you and your you and your sibling were to create a game based off something that you both share, what would be a quick game that?
I know what mine would be.
What's that?
Well, my brother, our common interests are sport and cars.
Oh, yeah?
So it would probably just be some sort of like cars simulator thing where you bring an old car in and you fix it like a simulator.
I feel like it'd be like a drag racing game.
I'm not that interested in that though. He is.
He is.
So that's why it would just be the cars and the restoring of old cars and putting different engines and stuff in.
Fun.
That's what we do. And then racing them, testing them.
Nice. I reckon Paige and I, my sister, we both love Harry Potter, but we also love any movie. So I reckon what ours would be.
Sorry, you love any movie.
No, sorry, that's not true. Sorry, that's not true. Why did I just say
this
that?
This is just straight up lie.
Sorry.
How weird brag.
No, I know. We've got all these movies. What I was meant to say is we've got all these movies from our childhood that we constantly quote. So like every day we'll do a Harry Potter reference in conversation naturally. So I'd want to create a game with Paige that's like SingStar, but instead of singing, you have to fill the next line from the movie.
Nice.
And it rates you on how well you've done the impersonation.
That's cool.
That'd be fun.
What other movies do you quote?
Lots of Olsen twin ones.
Oh gosh, yep, same as my wife.
Really?
Loves it, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, School of Rock.
Like Lizzie McGuire, all that sort of stuff.
Yep. Austin Powers. We actually quite like that when we
Austin
were a little bit
Powers,
younger.
great franchise.
You said that every single day you quote Harry Potter.
Yeah.
What was yesterday's quote?
Oh.
Have you done today's one yet?
No, I haven't done today's one.
You said it's like doing a quote from Harry Potter, like your Wordle. Like, I haven't done my quote today.
Yeah, we've got to fit that one in. That would be like if you said to me like, "Oh, how are you feeling today?" Like you'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm half and half." And then we have to say, Dad's a muggle, Mum's a witch. Bit of a nasty shock for him when he found out.
Seamus Finnegan, yes.
You know, like every time something
I love
triggers.
that. Shit, yeah.
We cannot get through a convo without that. So that'd be my one. What about you, Guy? What would you create with Ross?
Well, me and my brother were sort of laughing and poking fun at each other the other day that whenever we go around to each other's houses, we somehow force the other one to help us with chores. Like when I went down to Wanganui last time, Ross was like, "Oh yeah, come round and we'll have a coffee and then we'll go get lunch." And then it ended up just be me, Ross, and my dad splitting firewood for like 2 hours because Ross got a whole trailer of it, and we're just like splitting firewood for ages.
How fun splitting firewood though?
It is pretty cool when you're doing it with your dad.
And
you're doing it with your dad, and you do it in one go. You feel like that guy. Have you seen that guy Thorin on TikTok? There's just this incredibly good-looking man who's really ripped, and he just splits wood with an axe.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
and then women love him.
Really?
I've caught my wife looking at his TikTok so many times because he talks to the log like they're women, and he'll hit it and be like, "Stay there." And then
I like that woman.
Yeah.
Stay there.
Yeah. Like bloody rips them apart. It's very sexualized.
God, what the hell?
Very sexualized. He's a good-looking man. And he'll like take off his overalls. He's just jacked up.
And I just need to know: is the wood consenting to this? Is it all consensual?
It seems like it is. Yeah.
Fun.
So yeah, I would do some sort of game, and then when my brother came to my place, I somehow roped him into like cleaning my windows. So some sort of like chores game.
Wow, that sounds like
some sort of like
bag of laughs. That one,
I reckon
some sort of simulator game where you just like you do other people's chores.
I was about to judge you massively, but last time I went down to Tauranga, my brother would literally service my car.
Yeah,
and has done a lot of work for me.
Aw.
So maybe that's just a siblings thing.
Maybe.
I thought for a game for you and your sister could be like Loric Heatfinder. Was it Loric Heat? No, Cockatiel.
Yeah, animal calling game.
Cool,
You
like
gotta try and-
Cockatiel Discovery or something
That's
like
nice. Yeah, no, that's nice. I like that. And then maybe we could do like a little Hedwig quote, which is just not really, he doesn't really say anything.
Yeah, what does Hedwig say,
Yeah,
Ellie?
just- Yeah, no, I can't really do Hedwig actually.
that. No, you nailed it. That's exactly
Thanks so much. Yeah, so shout out anyway to gamesnight.nz, the website started by a guy called Jaden in New Zealand who is covering our New Zealand gaming scene.
Nice.
We appreciate it. And check it out, guys, if you want to have a little look about what's going on in New Zealand.
And at some stage, we will get him on and have a yarn to him.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I'll send him this audio and see if he, thinks we're cool and then like wants to come. Okay, I won't put this bit in. Oh dear. Never mind.
Once he hears your Hedwig impersonation, he'll be on his next flight.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So as mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, if you had to choose a video game character to genuinely settle down with, start a life, maybe start a family if you want, who would it be? And I guess by extension of this, for example, if you were to choose Kratos for some silly reason, you would then be living with him in his world.
Yeah.
Right? So that's something you got to factor into things as well.
Yeah.
So I am interested in females.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why
That's
there's a
good.
big pause after that, but so for example, a real apparent one would be Lara Croft, right? She's the go-to female video game character.
Yeah.
However, I don't think she would be a good person to be in a relationship with.
Are you scared she'd be too smart for you?
Oh, she's definitely too
Are you
smart for me.
intimidated by
No,
that?
Ellie, she literally goes away and plunders like the ancient temples of other nations without their permission and takes their antiquities and will be away for months on end and then like get stabbed and get shot at and all sorts of stuff and literally murder people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no,
So
fair
like,
enough.
and also she's too intelligent for me, and like, that intimidates
intimidates
me.
me.
Okay, Ellie, that's the
There it
real
is.
reason. Okay,
And she's super rich, and I'm the man, and I'm supposed to have more money.
Exactly.
I'm the breadwinner, and she
Yes.
stays home.
Knew it, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, sweet, cool.
I could just get really jacked and start splitting wood and put that on Instagram and maybe make you jealous that way.
True.
There's a
actually.
market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently there is a market.
Yeah.
So that's something you got to take into account as well.
Yeah.
So Lara Croft, I've crossed her off my list. Next up was
Croft her off. Sorry.
Nice, bro.
You've croffed her off.
Croft her off.
oh Croft.
I should have said that joke with more gusto because
Yeah.
it was really
Yeah.
funny.
You weren't confident enough.
No.
Yeah.
You croffed her off.
Nailed it, man.
Thank
Or
you.
Lara Croft off. Aloy's next up. Aloy is next up from her. Can I also just let everyone know I'm really tired today?
No, that's okay.
and
That's
so
okay,
I am
same.
not firing on all cylinders.
No, you're all right. You're doing all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're
All
doing
good?
all right,
Okay,
mate.
I'll
Yeah.
carry on then.
Yeah, please.
Aloy,
Oh, people pleaser Ellie over there.
thanks, mate.
Strikes again.
Hey, you tell me if I'm shit. Am I being shit, Aloy? Aloy? I just called you Aloy.
Well, yeah,
Aloy.
we've been doing this podcast a year and you got a name wrong.
Is it because you want to marry me? I knew it.
No,
he,
well, actually-
yeah, he was about to say he wants to marry Aloy, but he meant me.
To be honest, I'm
Knew
about
it.
to croft Aloy off my list.
Nice.
Nice.
Because she's obviously great.
Yeah.
She's probably too intelligent for me, Ellie.
Oh, yeah, right.
So that obviously I don't want anything to do with that. But also she lives in a world where it's basically the human population has reset back to being tribal, and they are all using like bow and arrows and wearing like animal rags and stuff. So all of a sudden I'm transported to that world.
Yeah, right.
And there's like giant animals made out of robot parts walking around.
You've got giant dinosaur, like mech dinosaurs, right?
Robots, yeah.
Robots and stuff. But it's even just the smaller ones. Like they've got rams, like sheep.
Yes.
But they're
yeah.
made out of metal.
And they're huge.
They're huge.
Oh.
Like if I came across a wild, pissed off real life ram, I'd be like, oh shit, because they can do some damage. Now imagine it a little bit bigger and made out of metal. And there's heaps of those.
There's
The
heaps of them.
stags, the giant stags in the game, they're nasty.
And they're like
They're
the entry
fire.
level, yeah.
They're like they've got fire.
They've got
canisters.
fire, Ellie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Aloy, I mean.
Yeah, it's a hostile world.
It is a hugely hostile world, and guess what? I can't use a bow and arrow or a spear very well. Everyone else in the world can defend themselves. I cannot.
Well, you
Yeah.
could learn from your wife.
True.
No, totally. But as someone currently trying to learn a second language, shit, my brain sucks at learning at this age. Like, honestly, like they've done it growing up. When they were
Yeah.
3 and they could first hold an object properly, they were learning how to do that stuff.
Yeah, true.
I'll be a total liability. Plus, she's too smart for me, and I don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I am the man, and I am the made breadwinner, and this is how I like to operate.
Trying to think of a game where it's a non-hostile world and the female character is really dumb.
Yeah.
You know?
It's going to be hard. Next up was like, you know what? A character that I genuinely, because I've spent a lot of time playing the game, I genuinely like a lot of the characters in it. The Witcher 3. And then I was like, okay, there's a few love interests in there. Yennefer's got this whole complicated thing going on with Geralt, the Witcher. So I was like, okay, Triss Marigold. So she's a sorcerer, she's really smart. However, she is living in a world where she is being hunted constantly because they do not like witches and sorcerers. They're trying to burn them.
Oh.
And so she is on the run constantly. It's a world where there's heaps of racism going on. There's heaps of all sorts of wars happening. There's heaps of diseases taking over. Plus, I know that Geralt of Rivia has had a bit of a fling with her.
Oh, and you've been thinking about that every time.
No, guy. She still likes him, but he has to choose between the two. So I have to put up with the fact that she still blatantly loves Geralt.
Right.
And is now with me, who can't wield a sword, or can't do anything, has no magical powers.
And if she flicks you off to the side for Geralt or for anyone,
which she would,
then you're just stuck in the realm
and
of
I'm
the Witcher.
stuck in the realm of this, which is a terrible realm to be in.
Terrifying place. There's monsters everywhere.
That's right. I have no abilities. I can't do anything. Yeah. Plus, she's more intelligent than me, and I don't want anything to do with that.
You just become a bard. You'd be the guy that sings at a bar.
I can't even play a lute, guy.
Yeah, but you would learn. You'd be a terrible bard.
Oh, I'd be a shocking bard.
And you just you just copy songs from the real world.
Well, I could be a bartender or something.
True.
Would you like some mead? Here you go. Oh, you want to look at my inventory? Have a look. And then it's like mead.
Yeah.
3 cabbages, a cheese.
Mead light. Just watered down mead.
Mead low carb. So that's, it's quite a tough question when you think about it.
It is a hard one.
It is.
Which is why I have settled on, through much deliberation and much thinking on my behalf, I would like to date from the world of Pokemon.
Marry
from the world of Pokemon, Silver, Gold, and Crystal. So the Johto League.
Yeah.
Whitney.
Okay.
Now, Whitney is a gym leader. She is the 3rd gym leader you come across.
Okay.
Right? She has normal type Pokemon. Why did you smirk when I said come across?
Oh.
Guy. Come on, man.
Oh dear.
Well, I just smirked. You could have just
No, because it was like
smoke screened it. You could have just smoke screened it and carried on, but no, you brought it up.
Because, Guy, the way you smirked wasn't just a smirk, it was like a whole body like Okay, so Whitney, she's a gym leader, right? So her job isn't putting anyone in danger. People just challenge her to a fight, and she's pretty well regarded around town.
Yeah.
Because she's the gym leader.
Yeah.
What's a Pokemon specialty?
Normal. Normal type, but she's got a milk tank, which is like this cow which regenerates and is real tough to beat.
I hated
She
her.
uses rollout constantly, and
Yes.
honestly, it's kind of like the first skill check in the game.
Yeah.
So she's tough.
So many people would be like, dude,
Yeah.
I hate your wife, man.
But she's cool, though.
She's nice, but man, I freaking hate that cow.
Yeah, she's hard to beat. However, the reason I chose her is because I would live in Goldenrod City, which is the biggest city in gold and silver.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a radio tower there. I would work at the radio station. So it'd be similar to what I'm operating now. Above Goldenrod City, there is a national park, which has like bug catching contests and is quite nice. That's where we'd go for walks and stuff. There is a train system back to Kanto, which means we could go on holiday. It's got good public transport
Man,
access.
you really thought about this.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Oh, wow.
And I was just thinking, I was like, you could actually have there's even a daycare centre just below Goldenrod.
Oh.
So when we have kids, you could drop them off there.
I know the city you're talking about. Yeah, and that's where you get eggs.
That's right. Although, if you drop the kids off there, they mainly look after Pokemon. So I go pick my kid up, and it's just like my child, a Psyduck. You know,
and if there's a Ditto there, that's
Ditto.
going to make a clone of your kid or something.
God.
Yeah. Oh, God, my kid's coming out of an egg.
That's right. So I think it would be the most set up. It'd be very sort of close to my current life. And yeah, you got the train to Kanto, and I think it would just be lovely. Plus, Pokemon would be real. There's no worries about people trying to kill you. Your wife hasn't killed anyone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's good.
So I think I could have quite a nice
So
little life there.
Whitney
Lovely.
from Pokemon.
From Pokemon Silver, Gold, and Crystal.
That's your wife.
Yeah,
Okay.
Golden.
Ellie,
Lovely.
who's getting down on one knee for you?
Can I just, say from the game Formula 1 2023?
No, you cannot. No, you cannot say Daniel
No-
Ricciardo
no
or Verstappen or
loopholes.
any of this
Damn it.
bullshit.
I was going to say Daniel Ricciardo. No, I can't. I knew you were
Why?
gonna
He's been
reject
dropped.
that. I know, but he's still lovely. And,
But
it's
he's been dropped,
it's
Ellie.
almost more attractive now because, he like in distress
He's
and
damaged.
he needs someone. He's got a girlfriend. But anyway, no, I knew you were going to reject that one. But I think now, I don't know if bestiality's okay in this
Hey
scenario.
man, it's all good.
We're
But-
not here to yuck your yum.
And also,
Thank
you
you.
might be a beast as well
Exactly.
if you're in their world.
Yeah, so I was thinking I would love to marry. You know what? Don't even need to do any intercourse. Could just hang out as friends.
Intercourse, right? Okay.
Imagine if Ellie just says a game that is completely normal, but it's got a dog in it. And that's
It's the
like,
dog.
okay, no, that's
weird.
bestiality.
No, I'd love to live a life with Spyro the dragon.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
you're a dragon as well.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, because fun, I can fly. Well, okay, so I was picturing Ellie me, and I was wanting to live with Spyro because I can jump on his back and fly around wherever I want. You
And
know, transport.
You love to mutilate the sheep in that game.
Exactly. We've already got a bond over that. Also, he can blow fire. So if anyone pisses me off or I need a job done,
Burn them alive.
Yeah, just burn them alive.
Yeah, real
Cool.
real Khaleesi move there.
Yeah,
Also,
it's good,
you are married to this dragon. You have married a dragon. It's a real donkey from Shrek
I
situation.
was just thinking that. Yeah.
So, like,
Weird ass.
where are
looking
you
kids.
living?
Yeah, great question. I hadn't thought of this as in depth as what you have just done, Chris. So I hate following you up here. But I think we'd just, live on the land.
Live on the land. Spyro would be fine. First of all, let's live off the land.
Yeah.
Where does Spyro live? Just Googling it.
Yeah, no, I think Spyro would be just a fun one because here's what Spyro is described as: courageous, headstrong, and eager on adventures. Now, I'm not fully those three things, but I think we complement each other.
brings
you know what I mean?
it out of you. You slow him down. He keeps you moving forward. Yeah,
Exactly. Also, friendly and fiery personality, which is lovely. I do want a bit of friendliness, and I don't mind a little bit of fire. And fun adventures to go on, I reckon. But also, I could stay at home, and they can. Spyro can
Where
go and
is
do
your
all the hard
home?
stuff.
I just Googled it. You live in the dragon realms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't know. Look,
Pretty sure he just lives in a cave.
Yeah, I think it is.
There's
just
no
a cave.
currency. Like, what
Yeah.
are you gonna eat?
No, I didn't think about the
Sheep?
Well, you'll eat mutton. Every single meal will be mutton.
Yeah.
Cooked
Charred.
with dragon
Charred.
fire.
Charred
Heavily
mutton.
charred.
not like cut up into bite size, but it's just a
A
sheep.
carcass.
You gotta
Yeah,
pick
just-
through the bull.
Just a
Spice.
carcass, Ellie. And
Yeah.
you're in a cave while your husband, which by the way is a reptile, is off flying around burning people. So that's okay.
No, yeah.
I mean,
no.
I've got a fully set up life here that makes total sense.
I know, and now I've realised how silly
Why
mine
don't you
actually
Why
is.
don't you marry the main character from Stardew Valley?
Could do.
Or is that boring? You don't want to be a farmer.
Well,
But
no,
you could
I
marry
did-
one of the other people in the
What
town.
about Tom
Yeah,
Nook from Animal
true.
Crossing?
I haven't played that, so I don't know. I don't know the in.
What about a
depths
robot
of-
from Detroit Become Human?
I actually did have this thought. There's in Detroit Become Human, in the opening scenes and like between the credits, there's this lovely girl android who kind of guides you through stuff, and like she really enters your soul because she looks at you as if she's actually with you, and she's very like intriguing. And I was like, oh, maybe I could marry her. You
Yeah.
know, because an android would be very helpful to
Where
have
would you
around the
live?
house.
Just in Detroit.
Yeah, I guess I'd be a Detroit gal. You know,
With those androids, because I haven't played the game, can you just turn them off? It's like a pew off
yes,
switch.
yes.
That'd be handy in a wife.
Yeah.
For
But,
giving them some rest because they work.
Oh, because they work so
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, nice. Good
You don't want
save.
them to burn out. You know, with
Yeah,
the
good save.
laptop,
I think-
if you constantly close the lid on a laptop, you don't actually shut it down, then it burns the battery out.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to do a restart or shut it down so that it doesn't burn out and there's longevity. So
Your wife listens to this, eh?
No.
Yes, she
Oh,
does.
right.
Plus, I think your main issue would be actually learning how to turn them on.
That was good. That took me a long time to get, but it was good.
It took me about 40 seconds longer than normal to think of that joke. My brain was working overtime. Right.
The other thought I had, and I don't know enough about him fully because I've not played these games. I tried, but I didn't. Was Nathan Drake, just because he's
He's
an
a murderer.
attractive, strong. Okay.
He also has a partner, Elaine, and a love interest.
Oh.
This is the thing that you got to think
Oh,
about.
I didn't do this
also,
in depth enough, did
he
I?
does the same thing, going to other countries and taking their antiquities without permission.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Nathan,
He has
no,
murdered
no.
thousands of people.
Nah, I was just kidding. I don't want to. I'm going to revert back to Spyro. living in a
Spyro.
cave.
yeah.
I did a reptile.
What about you, Guy?
Well, I thought when Chris posed this question, I thought everybody assumed what my answer was going to be.
Lara Croft.
Ash's mum.
Ding, ding.
Both.
No, but
Threesome.
those are the two options.
Oh,
So
okay.
at first I thought Delia Ketchum from Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Because that's been an ongoing joke, right?
Hey, but I could visit you.
True. You'd be living in
come
the same
visit.
world.
So thing is though, and so Delia, she's a lovely mum,
Yeah.
right? And she's a lovely person, and I'm sure we'd be very, very happy together, right?
Yeah, okay.
However, she lives in Pallet Town. Pallet Town has got 2 houses and a Pokemon lab.
It's boring.
It's boring as
Ah.
it's low-level Pokemon all around you.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to live there, we'd live in the. She's a homeowner, so I'd live in that house together with her.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't really work in the Poke Lab because I'm not a scientist, so I would end up just being the janitor of the Poke Lab, right?
Right.
And then that whole time as I'm mopping floors, I'd be looking over at Professor Oak, and I'd be like starting to, because it's a real tight knit community. There's like 6 people there, and I'd see Delia and Professor Oak laugh and have these inside jokes together. together. And then I'd start to get a little bit paranoid that maybe my boss is having sex with my wife. And she would deny it. And then she'd say I'm being paranoid. Then I'd go into the woods and I'd come across a level 2 caterpie and it would be annoying. And I'd go back to work and then I would see this interaction. Eventually I would end up killing Professor Oak, right?
Wow.
And throwing him in the ocean for the kinglers and the crabbies to feast on, right?
It's more tentacles, to be honest, down there.
And then I would start to be like living a life of paranoia and anxiety that someone's going to find out.
And
that
I'd run away and
Professor Oak
hide
is
at Mount
dead.
Moon.
Exactly. So I'd either go down the paranoia and then I'd give up and then I'd end up getting arrested, or I'd start to love the rush and then I'd start killing other people because I really enjoyed it and my life is boring. So I chose not to do that. And I'm going to marry Lara Croft instead.
Okay, yeah, right. That was a really good insight into your like anxiety brain.
Yeah.
Like the amount of like situations you just thought of that are potentially going to happen is quite scary.
Yeah.
It was quite scary. You know what? How about I marry Professor Oak?
Yeah.
Then we all live in Pokemon land together.
Yeah.
And then you're free to take old Ash's mum.
That's
What do you
true.
reckon?
That's
Just
true.
take it.
You take Oak.
Yeah. I'll take Oak.
I'll take Ketchum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
gonna
good.
take
But no,
Oak,
I mean, it still doesn't take away the fact that I'd be a janitor at a Pokelab.
Yeah, okay.
And it'd be a really boring town to live in.
Fair
to call
enough.
it a town is a huge stretch. No, I'd go with Lara Croft. She's a billionaire, so I'll be sorted for money.
True.
So we could travel together. And also we've got individual interests, which is very important in a marriage, is to be able to do your own thing while they do their own thing.
You
as well.
realize the whole like murders a lot of people.
Oh, don't
People are trying to kill her. She's away for months on end on islands dying. Have you seen the animation of her landing in the river on one of the recent Rise of the Tomb Raider games, going off the waterfall and then getting stabbed through the neck by a stick?
Yeah.
Like what's that? Like you don't want to be seeing your wife do that.
No, well, I mean, thing is, we would go to the islands. And then she'd go into the hills and the mountains to find whatever she's looking for, and I'd just stay at the resort.
You'd be at the
Right.
Marriott out front.
I'd be at the Marriott. I've got.
The
I
Radisson.
literally do not have to worry about money for the rest of my life. I could do whatever I want. I could still host the podcast, guys, but I
Yeah.
would just be doing it remotely from somewhere in South America.
Guy,
I would be living a sweet, sweet life with Lara Croft.
2 words, guy. Triangle boobs.
Yeah.
Or is it modern?
2 words.
day?
Hell yeah.
Or is it modern day Lara Croft? Or is it?
Yeah, sure.
To be fair,
okay.
I am dating like a 32-bit pixel art
Yeah,
woman.
Yeah, and Ellie's having sex with a dragon.
Yeah. Who do you want to marry and shack up with? Listeners?
Yeah.
Extremely Casual Group for Extremely Casual Gamers on Facebook. Join our community. Join in the discussion.
Lovely.
That's good, eh? That was succinct.
Join our
Beautiful.
community, join the discussion. Nice.
That's beautiful. Hey, thanks for joining us for another week here, team. What are you two going to be playing this week, Chris?
Oh, thank you. I am at the final area of Lies of P.
Oh,
Now,
Oh,
yeah.
you're nearly done.
Yeah, so this game is, I think I'm about 40 hours into it, and it is a Souls-like game, which means it's designed for you to play again and do it a different way
Oh, okay.
with different weapons and stuff, because depending on what you've chosen really dictates the style of game you're playing.
Yeah.
And so instantly I was like, I can't wait to play it again and unlock all the stuff that I didn't unlock this time and get all the trophies and stuff, because they're just really satisfying games to tick off everything. However, I have since found out that they are releasing a DLC before the end of the year, which is bloody exciting.
Oh,
Called Lies of
cool.
Q.
It's called Lies of Q. Guy, it isn't, but that's funny. Good
Thank
work.
you. Thank you. I was like, oh, I'm going to believe it again.
It's not. Yeah. It definitely isn't, Ellie. So that's coming out at the end of the year. And after doing some research, everyone's like, this is the best Souls-like game ever made. It is so good. If you like any of those games, do yourself a favor and play it. I'm not going to play it again straight away. I'm going to wait. What it has done, however, has made me want to go back and play the Soulsborne game that everyone says is like one of the best games ever made.
The Bloodborne.
It's Bloodborne. Pugs at Work. It is still hands down his favorite game ever made, and he's played Elden Ring. He's played all the new stuff. He's like, Bloodborne is still the best.
Is it 2014 that game?
2014 or 2013.
Yeah.
So the year before The Witcher came out. So it's still locked at 30 frames per second. They haven't done like an upscaling for PS4 Pro or PS5 at all. It's still really dated. However, it is available for free if you've got the PlayStation Plus subscription, which I've got.
Oh, wow.
I'm just going to get it and just get used to the old style. It won't be that bad. It was, back in the day, I would have played it no worries at all and loved it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back and play that and see what it's like.
Cool.
Apparently, it's the hardest one out of all of those games. Apparently, it's the hardest.
Oh,
So that'll be fun.
you got it.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
You
Thanks,
got
Ellie.
it. Yeah, you got it.
Thanks, man.
Guy, what are you going to play over there?
I haven't really
You
been
sound
playing.
so sleepy after my explanation. I'm really sorry about that.
I haven't really been playing anything the last week. My wife's got the week off work, so I've just been hanging out with her, which
That's
has been really cool.
nice.
I am going to clear my throat right now, though. Sorry.
Thank you.
You sounded really gravelly there. I was like, wow, he really needs to clear his throat.
No, I haven't touched Space Marines 2 since we last talked about it.
You didn't
so
try and get your refund within 24
honestly
hours?
haven't even looked into it. So whether or not I continue to do that or not, but I am interested in playing the game. Although I did on the weekend, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law came up to visit. We played a Jackbox game.
Oh, yeah?
So it was really fun. Played some Quibbage, and I can't remember the names of the other one, but we had a really good laugh.
Fun.
So we got the free one that was on the PlayStation Plus, but the adults only one is out now. So
it is out.
In New Zealand, I think it's $35. So
awesome.
Whatever the currency, but it is available now. So I'll be playing possibly Space Marine 2 and Helldivers 2.
Can nice. We'll jump on Helldivers maybe Thursday tonight. The podcast is out tonight, so maybe tonight. Just the way I was thinking about this, because I'm going back through and listening to old episodes of our podcast, searching for bits for the podcast awards, which we're going to nominate or put ourselves in for. Guy, I've started making a list, and we're going to get into this once I've gone through more episodes of all the games you've played in like a 6 podcast.
Nice.
6 episodes of the podcast. There's about 12 games I've written down.
Is it games that I've played or said I'm going to play?
No, but you'll see.
Oh,
you'll
wow.
see. Okay. And I'm also doing one of promises Ellie made early doors as
Oh,
well.
no.
Because that's hilarious. And so I was thinking about it. I was like, guy's still doing it. He got a free trial for Baldur's Gate. He played it for a couple of hours. I mean, that's really great. I'm going to wait and then buy that when it comes down in price. And then boom, full price for Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
And it was a terrible purchase. He knew it would be as well. And I'm just like, this is... Why?
I don't know. I'm easily influenced by TikToks. So
right, okay, there it is.
Other
That's the
forms of
difference.
media.
Yeah, you're dopamine seeking, aren't you?
Totally. You know, I watched Welcome to Wrexham. Boom, downloaded for FC24. I watched.
You're impulsive.
I'm impulsive.
Yeah.
Some would call it ADHD. I think.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
What about you, Ellie?
Hello there. Well, I'm actually going away this Sunday for a week, so I'm not going to be on the potty next week. Just a reminder, guys, I won't be here.
What the hell, really?
Yeah. So
you never told us?
Yeah, no, I did.
What the hell?
Yeah, well.
Have you thought about the listeners?
Nah.
Yeah,
no,
fair enough.
I have a lot, actually, and it just irks me that I won't be here.
You're going away with your radio station, though, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So I probably won't have a lot of time to game in the next 7 days, but maybe about a fortnight. Sam's still obsessed. He's like over a level 100 now and stuff, which is just great. Like, he's addicted to it.
Did he take part in the Doom event the other day?
I don't know if he did.
Oh, what a loser.
Oh, no, he's not in the lore enough yet. Or the community. Oh, dear, I have to
There
let
was
him
a
know.
Doom event.
Oh, I have to let him know. But yeah, I'm not going to be here next week. So you just got the boys. One of you is going to have to do the audio edit, and the video may be delayed because I don't know when I'll be able to do it.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be playing anything this week. That was my shit yarn there.
Can I actually just add in on the Fortnite chat? So last week I spoke about how Fortnite has got that new skin from The Incredibles, right? You could buy Frozone and Mr. and Mrs. Incredible. There's talk of more Disney characters being introduced. So obviously Marvel is owned by Disney, and so Star Wars, and there's been so many Marvel and Star Wars characters that you can play in Fortnite, and these characters run around with guns because that's like the whole point of Fortnite.
Yeah.
But there are talks of more Disney characters being introduced to Fortnite, but some characters that you can purchase, you will not be able to use in the Battle Royale version with guns, because it'll be characters like Elsa from Frozen and like Mickey Mouse. These aren't confirmed, but they're possible that you're going to be getting skins, but you can't use them in the Battle Royale because they don't want to associate that character holding a gun.
Interesting.
They should give Mickey like a water gun.
Yeah, right.
It does the same damage.
That's not a bad idea.
But
yeah.
it's like
But it's still eliminating people. There's still footage of Elsa from Frozen with, a bloody submachine gun just and killing someone.
Yeah, right.
It'd be pretty funny.
Which is why people would buy it. If Elsa was available, I would buy it.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And then I'd show my daughter and just scar her.
Yeah. That's awful.
Terrible idea.
Oh, well. All right. Well, thanks for listening to another week of the ECG podcast. And the boys will see you next week, and I'll see you in 2. Bye.
Bye.